Alright, boys, everyone get active in the lecture chat. And let me know, boys, is everything okay? You can hear the music, can you hear me talk well, nice and clear? You'll be able to hear the music if you go to the lecture details chat just above this one. I've connected my Spotify there, so if you click on that, you can listen to the music at the same time as me, just like we used to have for the live stream. I might start using this a little bit more. You can participate without Spotify if you don't want to, but it's nice that you can listen at the same time as everyone else, so we're all on the same beat. Damn, we got 300 people in this bitch. We got 14 people listening on Spotify. How's everyone's self-improvement doing? Good, great. Let's go, boys. Let's go. So it seems like largely the cult is doing pretty damn well. What's everyone's biggest accomplishment in the last few months? How about we get people up on the stage who wants to come up and speak in front of everyone? I'm going to put someone on the spot because some people have already requested to come up. So, Quay, key cult member. I've invited a person to come up. He's panicking now. His heartbeat's going fast. Well, okay, this guy's not coming up. We'll go with... Who's the highest guy here? We'll go with Khan. Yo, Khan, come up, bro. What's up, man? Oh, hang on, I don't hear you. Do you have a mic, bro? Yes. Is it just me or no one can hear him? Motherfucker came onto stage with no mic. Alright, bro, I'm gonna have to boot you off the stage, bro. In a bit, cuz. We got any disciples who want to come up? Yeah, there you go. First disciple, Mr. I-Man. Let's go, bro.
Yo, what's up?
What's up, bro?
Alright, so my biggest accomplishments, I got rid of porn addiction.
Good,
That's
man.
just the first thing that comes to my head, and I'm so proud of that.
Well done, bro. How long have you been doing that?
I've been struggling with it since February, but like the start of September, everything changed.
That's awesome, bro. That's real good, man. Let's get a little Adonis emoji in the lecture chat, boys. That's fucking sick. Do you have any advice for anyone who might be struggling with porn or nofab right now?
Right. My best advice, identity is everything. Your brain will try to prove your identity. So if you like truly believe that you can do it, prove it to yourself every day, like with just little baby steps, and it'll get easier.
Bro, 100% agreed with that. That's something that I've been preaching more and more on some of the newest videos that we've got releasing. Your identity, your self-image is what dictates your habits, and generally it's not really the other way around. So if you can find a way to shortcut your self-image to improve first, and you turn into the guy who just doesn't jack off, it's a lot easier this way than it is to try and force the real world habits. So I've been telling guys, like, start visualization, start to see yourself differently. See yourself as an athlete, see yourself as the guy who doesn't jack off whilst the entire like world or the generation of boys does instead. You got my respect for that transformation, bro.
Thank you.
You're welcome, man. Here, let's get you off stage and let's get someone else on. Thank you for coming up here as well, man. Much respect. Another fucking Adonis emoji, boys. Think about that. This random guy's just come onto stage. 350 people listening to him. Take some fucking confidence to do that. Nicely done, man. You see all those Adonises, bro? They're for you, man, Mr. I-Man. Every single Adonis here is for you, bro. That's gonna feel good, man. Holy shit. Let's go with another one. Let's get someone up who wants to speak about their biggest accomplishment in the last few months. We'll go with another cult member. His name is SVT. Come up here, bro.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Hello. What's your name, mate?
Real name's Arnav. A-R-N-A-V.
Arna.
Arnav.
Spell it again, sorry.
A-R-N-A-V.
Arnad.
Oh, ends with a V. V.
Oh, Arnav. Sorry, my bad, bro.
Yeah.
Arnav.
you're good.
Nice to meet you,
You're
man. What's your...
good. Yeah, nice to meet you.
Yeah. What's your biggest accomplishment that comes to mind in self-improvement?
I'd say my biggest accomplishment was definitely making a quick recovery. So I'd say, like, early August, I've been, like, doing all, like, the good habits, like exercising, meditating, journaling, for, like, 3 months straight. It was going great. And then I think I just had, like, a difficult week in college, and that, like, pretty much broke my streak. And, like, for, like, the next 2 weeks, I was not doing great. And I was back to all, like, a whole bunch of, like, instant gratification stuff, and, like, wasn't working out, wasn't eating great. And then, like, I reminded myself, in this kind of scenario, you gotta take, like, baby steps to get yourself back up. And so I kind of, like, in a way, like, deflated my ego and just, like, did shorter workouts and, like, slowly started to eat better and cook more. And like, a week and a half, I got myself back on track for all my habits.
Good, man. That's actually really good, bro. Is a lot of guys who are listening right now, they'll find themselves getting stuck in a rut every now and then. Like, they're doing good, they feel nice and consistent, and after a while, for some reason, they just kind of seem to drop. It's literally, bro, that's so good that you've been able to get yourself back so quickly.
Thank you.
You're welcome, man. Do you have any advice for anyone who's listening who might have been in the same position as you?
As I said before, it's just about taking the next, like, small step. Because when you're in a rut, you just think back to your peak and you think, like, oh, I used to be able to do this. And, you know, I do, like, an hour-long workout every single day and eat, like, 3 healthy meals. But when you're in that rut, you just can't, like, jump back position. You just have to kind of, in a way, start from scratch, take, like, small steps, and I think you'll get there in no time.
I like that. So, in a video that I made, it's one of the older ones, I said what to do when you get into a rut and you feel a little bit more depressed than normal. I said just view it as if you've reset your progressive overload. So once we go into the gym, we understand progressive overload is like where we just keep adding weight or just any kind of volume week by week by week. And when we get put into a rut, it's kind of like our progressive overload has been reset. But oftentimes it is what you've said. It's that ego where we feel like we should still be able to hit the old PRs. So if your old, like, I'm doing PR in, like, quotes here. If your old day-to-day PR was, you know, waking up early, morning routine, and working really hard and doing all this stuff, well, when you get into one of these ruts, the fastest way to get out is actually to lower your barrier of expectation of success. And so then it's like your new PR, your new progressive overload is, for example, getting out of bed and making your bed, maybe brushing your teeth. You have to drop it way back, and then you can start, and you can very, very quickly, like you said, within a week or so, you can get back on top. Respect for your progress, man.
Thank you. I'm so grateful for you inviting me up here.
You're welcome, man. And again, respect for coming up here, speaking to everyone with some confidence, man. Arnav, pleasure to speak to you, boys. It's a pleasure to speak to you, bro. And boys, let's get a Adonis. Let me do one as well. Emoji in the chat. That's all for you, mate. Let's go. We'll take one more person up on. You're welcome, man. Here, let me move you off the stage. Nice. And we'll get one more person, or maybe about 2, maybe 3, depending on how quick we can be. Because I've got kickboxing. I've got to leave in like half an hour. Who should we get up here? Okay, Key keeps messaging. So where you at, Key? You can have another chance. Yeah, Key or Quay. I don't know how you say your name, bro, but I've invited you up to come up.
Oh, right. Oh, last time I didn't realize that you had to like press the fucking thing on top of the screen to join. That's why. My bad.
No worries, man. What's your name?
Max.
Nice to meet you, Max.
Nice to meet you. Well, nice to meet you. I've been listening to you for months, so I guess you're meeting me now. So that's how it is.
It's interesting how that is. Like everyone who's, well, I'd assume most people who are listening right now know the intricate, very, very personal part of my life.
Yeah.
So Max, what's your biggest accomplishment that you can think of?
I mean, recently I've just been able to like hit the gym for like 7 days a week. I mean, I'm able to do that because I just don't get sore like after my workouts. Like I go hard, but like just going 7 days a week and just making all my workouts fun. Like I've just been loving the gym and shit. It's just been good.
Good man.
I don't even know if that's an accomplishment, but yeah.
No, it absolutely is, bro. That's like, it really depends on what you were like before. If you found yourself as someone who may have like struggled to get into the gym consistently, but even, bro, exercising every single day is like, that is a pretty big accomplishment in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing it for the last few months. Like, it just feels so fucking good.
Good man. Have you seen a progress in your body transformation?
Oh, definitely, mate. Like, I started this year off. Like, I started my body transformation in February. Like, I was overweight. I was at about 95 kilos, like, pretty overweight. I'm at about 90 kilos now, but I'm near, like, 15% body fat, so it's pretty sick.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah.
So let's say there's a guy who's listening to this right now, and his goal is to get into the gym, let's say 5 or 6 days a week. But he often only ends up going like once or twice. Like he's really motivated and he goes once and he feels really, really good. Then he goes the second day. But then after that, he just ends up taking like 2-3 days off. What would you say to him?
I mean, shit, I guess you just got to keep hitting it. I mean, what I try to do is I try mixing it up for all my workouts. I try changing songs. I mean, like just having like different playlists for every workout. That's something I found works for me. Tons of stuff. Like, I don't know. The issue is like it's difficult because like of course I'm on the spot right now, so I'm not trying to like give on this advice either. Yeah, I mean a lot of people. I mean, me personally, like when I go to my workouts, I don't really do like a really structured workout. Sure, like it's better to do a structured workout, of course, where you can like progressively overload. But like I still see increases in my strength and stuff overall. But like I like to just sort of have fun when I'm there. You know what I mean? Like sort of do the exercises I want to do. I mean, yeah, some people would say you shouldn't do that, but yeah, that's what works for me.
There we go, man. The thing is, science shows like, and even experience and wisdom, like absolutely the best way to work out is to have like a structured program to progressively overload and to, you know, work to your mesocycle and all this shit. But the thing is, a lot of people will never even get to that point because they'll quit beforehand. You've got to like, at least for me personally, a few years ago, I had to follow your same strategy and just make the workouts fun.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I think for the first, like, 6 months, maybe, just have fun. Like, just go there to exercise and have fun, you know what I mean? Like, don't make it a chore either. Like, that's another thing. I think people also, they make the gym, like, bigger than it should be. You know what I mean? Like, they just say, like, for me personally, now it's just my daily life. Like, gym is like, you know, school, gym, whatever. I don't go to work yet, but, you know, otherwise it'd be work, gym. You get the point. Like, that's how I do it.
Good man. So someone's asked how to make it fun.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what I do. That's how I make it fun for me personally. I mean, the other thing is also exercise with like a goal. Like as an example, I've picked up rugby this year. So like when I go to the gym, I'm also thinking like I want to improve at rugby. So, you know, I need to train my legs. You know, so I got stronger legs. So you know, you're like exercising for a purpose. Because yeah, I don't know how useful it is just to like. I mean, it's good to exercise, you know, even if you haven't got like a purpose. But like, if you have a purpose for like why you're exercising, it's even better. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it.
Absolutely.
So for me, it's rugby. You know what I mean?
That's a really good mindset, yeah, to have like an extraneous goal. So obviously we're all doing it in a sense of the body transformation, but then when you have almost like a practical strength goal with it, then it's just extra motivation.
Yeah, exactly. Because like I feel like it doesn't get fun after a while. Because of course, like the gym's like a thing that takes a long time to like master. You know what I mean? Almost. So if you're just going to the gym, you know, every day just for your body, it's like, you know, you're not going to see it day by day. So it can get demotivating. But I don't know. For me, when I know that, I've also got like my rugby, so I want to get good at that. Like it's just an extra thing that just makes me want to go hard. You know what I mean?
Well said, mate. Max, I
Yeah.
appreciate you coming up here. Boys, you know
Yeah.
the drill. Big ass Adonis emoji
Oh.
for Max here.
Oh, fucking hell, man.
That's for you, bro. You come up here in front of 376 people and just told like his story and your experiences, and you gave
mean,
some advice out.
To be fair, it's weird. I mean, it's hard because like I'm on the spot, but like it was actually easier than I thought. So
I appreciate you coming up, man. Here, I'll move you back to the audience.
I appreciate you too, man.
You're welcome, mate. Take care. So a bunch of people just then said that they can't hear us. I think that might be because you've turned your Discord volume off. So if you go to that, you see the little sound volume icon in the bottom right of your computer. Right click that, click on open volume mixer. Maybe the Discord icon there is turned down, because for me it was, because I used to go into the cult co-working space and then you turn it down there so you can't hear like the retards who don't mute themselves. And there's also Young Stu's just said as well, the headphones sign on the bottom left of Discord, you might be able to click that as well. We got so many people who want to come up. Oh, okay, Rainer. Let me find you on this. That seems interesting, mate. Rainer, can you request to speak on the lecture? There's like a button near the bottom. Oh, you have, here. Come up, Rainer.
Yeah,
What's
right,
up, bro?
Hamza.
How you doing, mate?
Yeah, very good, thank you. Thank you for inviting me up to talk as well.
You're welcome. So I've just seen your little message. You asked to come up because I think you've lived a somewhat similar life to me.
Yeah, I definitely say so. Obviously I've been watching your videos for quite a while now, and I've resonated with so many of the things that you've been saying. It does seem like we've lived quite a similar life. Because I've been living in Bristol recently for about the past year and a bit, which is why I moved when I finished uni. And I've been living with students the whole time. I've been partying a lot and doing a lot of drinking, chasing girls, probably too much, more than I should have. And recently it just kind of got to me that it's not taking me in the direction that I want to go. And at some point I'm going to have to decide to, bite the bullet, move home. It's better for my financial position. I find it easier to work when I'm at home and I don't have all these distractions around me. That's obviously not more fun, but I think in the long term, you get a lot more from self-improvement and self-actualization in comparison to just hedonistic fun. So yeah, I took the decision recently to move home and actually moved back yesterday.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know enough about your life, but I would say that it seems like the right decision. If you're getting surrounded by low quality activities in like the university social life, as I was, as a bunch of these guys are as well, that's like a big part of my videos has been telling guys to stay away from that instant gratification overload lifestyle and go and live more of like a simple, focused, structured, routine kind of life so that you can go and grow in your teen and your 20s. Seems like you've done that. How does it feel being back at home?
It feels different, and I'm still getting used to it. I think the biggest thing that stood out to me so far is getting used to living with my mum again, because I don't know if you've experienced this, but having moved home, my mum still wants to baby me and mummy me a little bit, and I'm getting used to moving back from that level of independence to having someone there that's trying to do my washing for me and trying to do this for me, when I still want to be an independent man that's doing things by myself. So that's the biggest thing that I'm getting used to. But in terms of productivity and being able to work hard and focus on my goals, I'm already feeling a difference in terms of, when I've been living that party lifestyle, say I have like 2 nights out in a row or something, that'll maybe be 3-4 days where I miss the gym. So it's been getting to the point recently where I'm just maintaining and I'm not being able to put any muscle on because I'm constantly having those breaks. So it's a big change, but I think in the long run, I'm definitely going to feel the benefits of it.
I think you will, mate. And in terms of your relationship with your mother, I've got to say, mate, obviously it is a big change. You've just lived, the big boy life, and you've been going out and having all the responsibility. And responsibility is absolutely crucial for a man. But I would say that how your mom's treating you right now is something to be grateful for. It's almost to allow it and even encourage it for her sake, not exactly just for yours. So obviously the practical benefit you get is like, okay, you save some time, she does your washing, she does some cooking or whatever, but you're always going to be her little boy. And fighting against that with this idea of like, no, mom, I'm a man now. It's like, why take that away from her? Parents get a huge sense of fulfillment, especially mothers, to really look after their children. Now, of course, maybe if your father is there, then will want to see you mature and grown up. But for your mother's almost spiritual or psychological well-being, she would feel awesome if she still gets to have like a protective, nurturing relationship with you. And it's only for your benefit. To resist it, I would say the only thing that you should do is allow it and encourage it, be grateful for it, but then obviously know that you are a man and that you're going to be responsible for other areas of life. Right now, she's taking the responsibility, let's say, of your cooking, of your cleaning. That means that you can focus on something that's more important, which is your entrepreneurial ventures. Potentially, you've got like a very, very, very good relationship going here where like you can focus on something which essentially like she really can't do for you.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? I'm quite happy that you've just said that to me, actually, because I hadn't quite looked at it from that perspective before. I'd more looked at it in the sense of although I've always known it's coming from a really great place, I've always wanted to be able to live more independently like I have been when I've been by myself. So I think what you've done there, you've probably been better than me at looking at it from her perspective and what she will want, as well as what I want out of it. And in terms of the gratitude as well, it gives me an opportunity to spend more time on my business, spend more time on my gym. So, yeah, thank you for that advice. That's actually really helpful.
You're welcome, man. Rainer, I appreciate you coming up on stage. And yeah, again, bro, it's like 330 people are listening to you just express all this, and you gave out some really, really good like learning lessons to a bunch of the guys here. Like, we're all getting a bit older. We all want to branch away from our family in a sense. And I think this has been a very, very good reminder to the guys who are listening that it is honestly just look at it in a more positive light. It's something to be so grateful for. Let's spam the Adonis emoji for Rainer, everyone. Let's go, bro.
Nice one. Cheers, Hamza. Cheers, boys.
You're welcome, mate. See you later, mate.
See ya.
Alright, boys, we'll bring up one more guy, then I'm going to start getting ready for kickboxing. Who should we have up? What I'll do, we will go through do we have any disciples who want to come up? So boys, just in cases you don't know, so obviously this Discord server, we've structured it in roles, like ranks. So when you first join the server, you've just got the Jeffrey rank. It just shows everyone that you're a Spurg and that you can't be trusted. And as you move through the server, you start being active and you get into like good quality conversations instead of just posting like little shitty memes or whatever. And you start helping other people. You start asking for better advice, and obviously like other people will read the advice and give you advice and everything. You start to move up the server and you get way, way more privileges and access to like way better parts of this Discord server when you get to like the disciple and especially the Adonis role. So if a bunch of you right now, like so many of you listening right now are Jeffrey roles, you can go to the hashtag server roles, maybe go like after this lecture. I'll type it into chat now and you can see. You can read all the details there. I think you guys will like it because it's almost like we've kind of like gamified it. So I've just typed it in there with like loads of hashtags. We've kind of gamified how to level up in this server. I'm going to slightly change it soon as well, but it's really nice. If you're a Jeffrey, you can get to like cult member role very quickly. I think my Spotify thing just like went down a bit. I don't know what the fuck that was, but yeah, we're gonna bring Willpower on here now. Fuck. Where you at, Willpower? Yeah.
Hey, what's going on? You hear me?
Hi. I can hear you, mate. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing, bro?
I'm doing well. Is your name Will, or is that just a play on words? Or...
Yeah, my name's Will. Just kind of like play on words. So,
I like that. Nice to meet you, Will.
nice to meet you too. Yeah. So we're still on the topic of like biggest accomplishment, right?
Yeah.
I would say right now my biggest accomplishment is I just went through like a breakup with my ex-girlfriend. I had to move out of my apartment where I was, self-sufficient, just to kind of get away from her. I still had to pay a lease to, because I was contracted with that, but the relationship ended up getting toxic. So I had to go back home to my parents, similar to the last guy, after being self-sufficient for almost a year plus and having to pay out of pocket for a home that I don't live in while I live back with my parents. So I also got really sick at that time. I was working at this place called the Whitewater Center. I ended up getting like a stomach bug or something from the lake water, whatever. Lost a lot of weight due to like puking and shit like that. And I've always been pretty fit, but it was sad to see myself kind of whittle away. I ended up getting like down to 150, almost 140 something. And like for me, that's really light because I usually stay around like 160. But lately I've been able to, kick my shit into gear. I've been able to eat better, exercise more frequently, even, without a gym. I was doing body weight stuff. Again, it's about, I was just telling people, motivation's a temporary force, like you're not gonna wake up every day and exercise and eat right and do things like that if you're motivated, because that's just gonna whittle away. And then you're gonna question like, well, why don't I feel like I did the last time? You have to be driven. That just means like you wake up and you have a goal and you're going to tackle it no matter what the fuck stands in your way. Whether you have equipment, whether you don't, you're going to push yourself. You're going to find a way to, get that resistance and build that strength. So, I was lucky enough to be able to do that. And then I got my home gym set up. I actually just went out to, another gym yesterday to use their sauna. I met a couple people at the gym, in the sauna, just talking, chopping shit with the dudes there. Ended up meeting a guy named Chase. He was really cool. We're going to go out for drinks. He's going to show me around the town where I just moved. So, yeah, it's just, it's good. It's all picking back up. Good recovery stage, I guess.
That sounds good, man. I'm happy for you that you've went through some shit. You went through some stressful times financially. Still having to pay for like an old apartment. That's something I can relate to. And if you're growing right now, is that you in your profile picture on Discord?
Yeah, that was me about, I would say maybe like, actually that was like before I got sick and everything and lost all that weight. So yeah, that was maybe like a couple months ago, like 4 or 5 months ago.
You still got it, man. If you can build a physique like that,
like
then
right
the
now,
discipline's
I'm just
ingrained.
kind of like, I'm just kind of building a basis back. Like, I've taken a big ego hit because I used to go into the gym and like I got all my lifts up really well, and I was doing a couple plates per different lift. But now like I go back in the gym and it's been so long since I've actually lifted that heavy and stuff that you kind of have to like destroy your ego and tell yourself, I can either go in there and put like 2-3 plates on the bar and try and lift it because I used to be able to and hurt myself or embarrass yourself or whatever it is, or you can just sit there and like suck it up, be a man about it, and tell yourself, I'll work back up to it safely with good form and all that shit, and not really care about other people's opinions of what you lift and just do what's better for you. So I've been lifting a lot lighter, just trying to get my form down and get my muscles used to like exercising again. But due to muscle memory, I've actually like blown up pretty quick, which doesn't represent like how much I can lift, because I can't lift as much as it looks like. Like people would see me on the street and they'd be like, oh, like you lift, bro. And I'm like, well, yeah, I did lift. I just look bigger than I am. So. But
I got the same thing personally. You can build the physique without actually building, because strength, you've got to see it as a skill that's separate to the actual physique that we build. And so you can build like an awesome aesthetic shaped physique, you can look jacked, and you could literally just be benching like one plate. Like, to be honest, the most
Yeah.
aesthetic guys in my gym, just every single time, bro, I swear to God, the most aesthetic Jack Chad looking type of guys, they come in and the first weight that they put onto the bar is a 10 kg. Like, and obviously, you know, they'll put like a 5 or 2.5, but it's all, they always just put the 10 kg on and then they'll bench it with like weird shit, like they'll put their feet up on the bench or something like that. Whereas the
Yeah.
guys who lift the most, is like usually they just look kind of like just bad. You've got to realize strength is a skill that is somewhat correlated to your physique, but not entirely. Someone can be way stronger than me, but look way worse than me. And someone can be
Oh, yeah,
like
100%.
someone can look way more jacked than me and use even lighter weights than I do.
Yeah, and that's why again, like I don't ever judge somebody on the outside because I've seen small guys bench more than bigger dudes, and it goes into like a science. If you're curious about that, you should look up myofibrillar and sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. That's the difference right there. I'm not going to go into detail about it because
I just read about that today, bro. Literally just read about that today.
Yeah, so like that's the difference because like you can have really dense muscle and not really look as big as someone else, but because of that muscle density and that nervous system being adapted to lifting heavier weight or like being under heavier load, you can actually like, you know, you can have a guy who looks like, you know, your average day like fucking teeny weeny fucking dude walking around bench like 2 plates if he, you know, built himself up to that. So.
Well
But-
said, man. And going back to
But
the
yeah,
initial point that you made, bro, you made a fantastic point about discipline versus motivation. I think that's really the fundamental part of self-improvements. And you know, a lot of people say that, you know, they're getting stuck in a rut. They can meditate or go to the gym or something 2 days in a week. It's because they're waiting for the fleeting emotion of motivation. Like, you've got to understand, boys, motivation is literally just a feeling, like a feeling. But you don't have to follow your feelings. If you follow your feelings, you live like normal people. They crave chocolate, so they go and eat chocolate. They don't feel like working out, so they don't work out. Real progress comes when you start doing things even against your feelings, just because you have this rational, logical, disciplined brain that tells you that, yes, this is better for you in the long run.
Yeah, like I definitely agree with that. Like a biggest motivation for me, since I would say what, like 2-3 years ago, is David Goggins. Man, he's got my shit together because, you know, just the simple things of whenever your brain tells you don't and you do, like that, you literally destroy those inner. Well, he calls them demons. You can call them whatever you want, but it destroys those inner thoughts. Those. Because your brain, look, your brain is manufactured to keep you alive, to keep you comfortable, to keep you sustained. So every time you go to do something or think about doing something that's outside of a comfort range that could possibly hurt you, whether that be like emotionally or physically or like challenge you in any way, your brain has like an auto response mechanism that tells you like, no, don't do that because it wants to be comfortable. Like, you know, back in the day, we didn't have that choice. We didn't have like the modern capabilities and technologies and the comfort and shit. So we had to push past that voice all the time. I don't even think that voice existed back then. But nowadays with the comfort, like you can sit in your bed all fucking day. You can get on the computer. You can whack your shit to like 20 different girls doing 20 different things online. Like there's so many different ways to fuel yourself today, like with comfort and you know, laziness and gluttony, that of course your brain's going to opt for that over anything else. So every time like I get in the shower and I'm like, I go to reach and turn it to hot, you know, my brain says like, oh, like, yeah, I want it hot. Well, I fucking turn it to cold. And I'm like, fuck. But then I feel better afterwards. You know, I go on runs and shit. And I don't like to run, but like, fuck, I get out and run, dude. Like, I probably run like, what, 20 some miles a week. You know what I mean?
man.
And that's somebody who doesn't like to run, but that's why I run. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I just do the things that I don't like to do. I don't like doing chores. So every time I walk past my mirror, I have like a bunch of sticky notes and shit, like accountability or whatever. And one of the biggest things on there is like, you don't like doing chores, so go fucking do some chores. So what I do, I just, you know, I'll clean my room. I'll go up and do some dishes. I'll, you know, and that's another thing, you know, living with your parents. That guy actually just DM'd me a little second ago. He said there's a balance between like letting your parents help you and then also being like self-sufficient. That's true, But when you live at home with your parents again after like moving out and being a little bit more of like an independent man, you do have to set some boundaries up to like not like hurt your parents' feeling, but tell them like, hey, you know, I was just gone for this amount of time and I'm learning to be a man. And while I appreciate you like trying to help me and do things for me, and you can to some extent, I still need to do things for myself as well, because if I get comfortable with you doing it for me, like then you're gonna fall back into those old patterns. And then when it hits you like a bus, like when reality hits you like a train, you're gonna be like, fuck, I'm not used to doing that anymore. And that can throw off a whole lot of things. So always find time to do things like little things for yourself, like do your own laundry occasionally, do your own dishes occasionally, cook for yourself occasionally. And if you have the luxury of a parent who can do some of it for you some of the time, sure, like let them do that. Like they can get their fix, you can get your fix, you can focus on things. But like you said, it's that balance. So, but
that's a really good point. That's like a very, very good point. Have like this authentic conversation with your parents. If you do feel like they're being a bit overbearing, then have the conversation. And the angle that I would personally go with is to explain to them that you want to develop into more of a masculine man, and that you don't want a sense of just being comfortable that takes you away from becoming more masculine. That the masculine like, thrives on responsibility, and comfort is the
100%.
killer of man. So if the thing is, live at home, have your parents love, spend time with them, let them do things for you, but don't get comfortable. Still know that like it's so interesting because you can go and do 1,000 workouts, you can go and squat 3 plates, you can do all that stuff, you can build the business and everything, but it's so weird that if you haven't done the dishes in a while, bro, that's fucking hard. Like if you haven't done the laundry, but you've been succeeding in your business, it's like laundry feels kind of difficult. Like everything you do feels hard if you haven't done it in a long time. And the issue is that you can fully like we're seeing this like at a wide level, young men just staying as little fucking babies because they don't really know how to do these things. Or they do know, but it just feels so difficult because they've barely ever done it. And so you go, your mummy's boy, which generally like it's not a completely horrible thing, but it is obviously somewhat negative. You start with that, with your mother's love, you're proper cradled by her, and eventually you only ever really leave the home and go on to essentially be the mummy's boy for your girlfriend. It's like you need a girl who can cook for you and who can do the laundry for you, and that's a big trap for like a lot of guys who have potential, but they almost end up looking out for these like mothering traits. And the thing is, the woman who acts like your mother, like in the dating sense, she's just not going to be as sexually as attracted to you as if you acted like her father. That's the right dynamic. You've got to start to realize if you're a young man right now, you're 16, 17, 18, 20, whatever, you've got to start taking more responsibility around the house. Not because it would be like a big help.
The reason I even learned that was because like my last girlfriend, I dated her with the expectations that she would do all of the bullshit in the house, like clean, like do the fucking dishes, do my laundry, whatever. She like totally was like, nah, dude, you're doing your own shit. You're going to clean, you're going to cook for yourself, whatever. And that was a big slap in the face for me. And part of me like was disinterested in her for that. But then I came to actually appreciate that because she never let me get comfortable. And then eventually she ended up doing those things occasionally for me. But she never let that precedent be like, I'm going to be used as like just some kind of fucking maid robot around the house. Whatever. And you know, again, there's like people have different opinions on a woman's place, like what she's able to do. I like a strong woman. I don't like an overbearing woman or a woman who steps out of like, you know, any kind of range. But that goes for everybody, even a guy stepping out of his like, you know, where he should fall in society or in a relationship or whatever. Like people have, you know, a place, but it should be equal in a sense. I provide monetarily, you provide, you know, comfort, but there's a balance there that we're both agreeing on. I guess that's just kind of like what it comes down to is like both parties feeling satisfied with whatever, but she really didn't let me get comfortable in that sense. And I appreciate it for it. But that's why when I moved home and then my mom stepped into place and she was like, oh, like I'll cook for you, I'll do your laundry. And I was like, well, part of my brain was like, yo, like give into that. Like, of course, that's what you want. Like, you don't want to deal with that shit. But then another part of me was like, well, fuck, you know, like if I do that, I'm only going to be weakening myself and pretty much throwing all of that time I learned to be self-sufficient away. You know what I mean? Like, it's just going to like it's just gonna all be for what? You know, I didn't take anything away from that then, so, you know.
Well said, Will. I appreciate you coming up onto the stage, mate. It seems like you've got quite a little growing fan base in the server.
Yeah, a lot of cool guys in the server. You know, like I've actually talked to a lot of them in the DMs, and you know, everyone here. The reason I appreciate this is just because everyone has the same kind of mentality of wanting to improve, and I think that's like the number one key start, like for the world to change, is like, you know, fuck politics, fuck all that bullshit, dude. Like that's not gonna change the world. We've already come to that conclusion. What's going to change the world is individuals changing themselves to be better. And then that's going to resonate throughout, like, you know, society with the generations to come. And then that's the shit that's going to really, like, make a change. So, you know, I really fuck with the fan base that you have and also the message that you're putting behind. So it's good to see a lot of these dudes on that level. So
Thank you for saying that, mate. And I appreciate your activity, your help here. Seems like you've been helping out a bunch of guys. You've been giving them advice, so I appreciate that, man. So I appreciate you coming up.
I try to do what I can.
Nice, mate. Boys, let's spam the Adonis emoji one last time for our friend Will. You already liked him, mate. It's impressive to see, bro.
Thanks.
You're
But
welcome,
look, you know,
man.
and for a couple guys, they DM me. They want to be like me, bro. Like, you don't want to be like me. You want to be like you. You want to be a better you. I'm not perfect. I still struggle with my own shit. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't have my whole shit figured out. That's like a false reality I don't want to perpetuate. Like, and I'm sure Hamza will say the same. Like, we're always growing and always learning. But just because someone might have some things figured out that you don't, that doesn't make them better than you, like a better human than you. That's someone to learn from and strive to, you know, take advice from. But we're all equal, 100%. 100%. Like, don't ever get that misconstrued, and don't ever want to be anybody but yourself, bro.
Absolutely.
Like, so.
And we're all works in progress. And that's why I try and state a couple of my mistakes in every video that I make, because it's just so much more relatable. It's so much more authentic to spread this message to these young guys who are listening, to tell them that because we're not perfect, we've experienced the same problem as them. And it's almost like this weird sense of community and power that's a young man feels when he hears someone that, you know, is like a role model to him. Also the role model saying, but yes, but I've experienced this too, and I've had the same problem as you.
Yeah.
Sweet, Will. I appreciate you coming up, man. I'll move you back to the audience now.
I appreciate the time you gave me. Thanks, man.
You're welcome, man. Take care, bro. Sweet boys, that's all for today. The little spontaneous lecture. I just felt like hopping back on here, seeing what it's like, because we usually just do live streams, but this was pretty nice. Might start doing some of these more. I've been recording as well, so I'll post the recording to the Hamza is Live YouTube channel. I appreciate you guys coming on and listening for like a little while. We got solid 300 people. I think that's potentially the most I've ever seen. I think it's the most I've ever seen. It might have been 500 once, but I think that was a live stream. So I appreciate you guys all listening, boys. And we've just posted a new video like 20 minutes ago. So if you all want to head over to the uploads link, it's right there. It's just uploaded onto the channel. It's a pretty decent video. It's nice and short. Let's spam the Adonis emoji one last time for everyone who's been listening, boys. Let's go. So keep an eye out on the Discord, boys. I'm not going to be announcing these lectures that I'm going to do, but I'm just going to start doing them spontaneously. So if you're online, you'll just get to tune in and you might be able to come up on stage and tell everyone your self-improvement story. Have a good night, everyone. And do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. All right, give me a kiss, everyone, especially if you're underage. Mwah.